Morning, it's 7 o'clock, it's too early. Join me, International Rugby League social media influencer, the RSW, as we go to Edinburgh with the Leeds Rhinos, champions of the Wheelchair Super League. And so we arrive in Edinburgh, where the day kicks off with the reserves. score the first try in the wheelchair single. Wide tackle. I think that's the third tackle. The things are just everywhere. I mean, they're not. They've still got the same number of players on the pitch, but they seem to be everywhere on the field. That's tackle. Interesting kick, but didn't quite work, and Leeds get well, I'm not coach. Well, 10 minutes gone on the second half. 76-0 to the Rhinos. Defence covering the pitch. And it's a break from the Giants. Just can't quite get through this Leeds defence. Numbers out on this left-hand side, but play just slows down. It's almost a halt. Oh, and it's a foul. I'm just hoping to get the Giants' first try on the video, so I've got my camera here. Without attacks. Occupational hazard. Begging and the Giants not coming. The place is good rugby. Every time the Giants have a chance, they manage to give away a penalty or knock on or something. You're not allowed to push people over. So that's a penalty to Leeds. Oh, the Giants have scored a try. I don't think they can over. Well, isn't that typical? Actually typical that I was talking to you a lot and not paying attention. One job. Conversion's good anyway. pass. Minutes left. Let's go again. Chance out for the Giants because Leeds and Rhinos. No. Here comes Collins, he's broken through, and that will be the 100. The scoreboard doesn't go above 99, but it's 104.6 because it's broken, because it's more than 2 figures. It could score another try, like Huddersfield. Boots is going to go. But he's going to go before the kick-off. It is. There's the kick-off. And he's 112.6 with a kick to go. Which ever did it come? Unforgiving, because you look at the scoreline here and you go, what? But in reality, yeah, these have been by far the better team, as you'd expect them to. They are the 112.6 if you just lost. 140, 12 over. We'll drop them on there. Hopefully that was incredible. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again soon. We'll go down and speak to some people. Come on.
As soon as the dogs are here. As soon as the dogs are in, there's Michael. Michael Davis. Ready? All smile dogs. Ready? Another one. Sit.
What time did you have to set off? Because I'm making a documentary of the day.
We didn't set off till like 7:30. And we still beat everyone here.
Yeah. Well, that's because we had the world's slowest Burger King episode. How would you sum up the first Super League game of the season?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's always nice to have a run out, and that first game, you know, you don't know what people are going to bring, so having that run out, we've really enjoyed it.
Is the most disappointing thing that you conceded a try?
Yeah. Yeah. I think just before myself and Josh came back on, Simo was like, right, don't let them score. And they scored. And to be fair, it was well deserved and well earned. But I would have preferred not to have let them.
Long journey. How are you feeling after? Because now you've got to, well, I guess, I don't actually know, I actually know, like, it's a few days' time.
I mean, for me, to be honest, as it's because I was rested for a good, 20, 30 minute period, I'm all right. You're not joining in, Callum? Come join in.
No, I was just going to say, great game.
Oh,
Great
just
game.
how wet you are.
What else was I going to say? Dogs. We need more dogs. Dogs in rugby league.
Yeah. I keep saying my next dog is being trained to be an assistance dog. My girl's too old now.
I think the blonde one that's training, I'm not sure necessarily gets the assignment, but look like
I think it's a perfect advertisement for the sport. You like dogs, you like rugby league, you like people smashing into each other. Wheelchair rugby league.
How's your finger?
It hurt. Yeah, so I dislocated the top knuckle. So at one point my dad put it back in, and then again put it back in. Tried to tape it up. That didn't last long, but adrenaline's starting to wear off, so it hurts more now.
First taste of wheelchair Super League action in Scotland. The result expected. What about the performance?
Do you know, I'm so chuffed with the team, to be honest. We didn't give up. We kept playing as a team, playing together. We knew it was going to be a really tough ask, but we got through it. We played the whole 80 minutes. We didn't sort of let our heads down, didn't get on each other's nerves. So you can't really ask much more for that when you've got a team that's established and been playing together for forever. And one of our players has maybe played Super League before. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite daunting to be up against the champions in your first game, but as you say, you got on the board, you didn't give up. It must be hard just to defend. They're so quick, and they're so quick across the line as well.
It's the speed that we really noticed from the games we've played before. We've not dealt with that sort of speed before, and it was the way they were able to pull us one way and then take us another way, and it was being able to get back doing that again, and it was just the constant toing and froing. But we can only get stronger from playing teams like this. So we've seen where it is we need to work now. We know we need to work on how to defend this. So that's what we go back on Wednesday. That'll no doubt what we'll be doing at training.
A try that you got on the board. That's the main thing.
We got on the board. Yeah, Callum got his try, so fitting that he got our very first try for Giants, and he's now got the very first try for Giants in Super League as well. So
the future's looking bright for the sport and for Edinburgh in Scotland.
Oh, it's definitely looking bright. We've got players coming in. Obviously, we had junior players playing in the reserves grade, so hopefully people will see this and want to just get involved in sport in Scotland, because it's a fantastic sport. I'm sure as others have all said, it's what more do you want?
What's your route into wheelchair rugby? How did you end up finding this sport?
I ended up finding the sport because Ollie, who was refereeing, I actually used to play lacrosse with him and his wife, and he told me about it because I had to give up playing lacrosse, and that's how I got into it and I got hooked. So 3 years ago now, started playing, and best thing ever.
I've only ever seen lacrosse. It seems fairly violent as well. So
yeah,
it's
quite brutal. Yeah, it's not the most friendly of sports.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the score, it obviously looks like a very tough day at the office, and I think that probably is a fair summary. Leeds are champions, and you can probably see why. I think for us, though, we spoke about this before. It has to be about performance. It's day one for us. They're a team that have been together 2 years, played probably 14 games together in total. So for us, it's about performance, and it's just about those skills that we need to develop off the pitch as well as on the pitch. So looking at resilience and looking at our courage and bravery. So Yeah, I think for us, I'm pleased with the group in terms of they didn't give in. I think we could have capitalised a bit more at certain times if we'd had a little bit more composure. But yeah, I think Leeds have come up and done the job that they needed to get done on us today.
You got to try, which is obviously good not to be nilled at least.
Yeah, and that was one of the success metrics that we put in place for ourselves is, can we register its first points? We've got to look for those little wins within the games. First game in Super League for a team in Scotland ever. So to be able to register the first points is very pleasing. But the reality is we've got a lot of work to do, and we know that it's going to be a 3 to 5 year plan of how do we close the gap.
But as you say, in terms of composure, you did have chances where you gave away penalties and forward passes and such. It could have been even closer.
Yeah, I think that comes with time and experience and development, and yeah, that's what we'll take away. It's certainly one we'll look at in the review and just say how do we be a little bit more composed? How do we manage the game a little bit better in periods of time? I think in some parts we were doing that. I think the bits where I'm obviously disappointed is where we were conceding through the middle. Leeds are fast. And I think if we're going to get done, I said, listen, we get done on the edges. And I just think on a few times we got done through the middle, and I just don't think that's acceptable, regardless of how fast the team is. I think for us, we've just got to have that little bit of pride in the middle.
Tough question. Is it about sprint training or whatever, just to try and find that speed from somewhere?
Yeah, I just think for us, if you look at the as I say, we've had 13, 14 games. I think if you just look at being able to retreat and get back the 4 metres and get back, and then, if teams are if I've got to quick play the ball and they're just, they're rapid, and then you're on the back foot. So I think, there's a few things for us that to look at, that whole, what does our defence pattern look like in terms of, when we're taking the tag versus when we're retreating. So yeah, listen, lots of fix up, but listen, I'm not going to be too disheartened. We were really realistic about where we are. We were really realistic about what it was going to mean to us in this first season, and we've just got to get ourselves acclimatised. And I don't think that's going to be the first. And I don't think it'll certainly be the last for any new team. So yeah, listen, we'll dig in, we'll get back together, and we've got a call in on Monday to start looking at going through a few things. So we'll just take it from there.
Important to build those roots here in Scotland, and the reserve team playing before. The reserves win as well there.
Yeah, the reserves picked up a win today, which was great, and obviously. I think even just outside of the result, though, you look at how are those players developing, what needs to be able to progress at Super League level, and trying to get that consistency across the board in terms of what our game plan looks like, and what style of brand of rugby do we want to play in. And I think we've got to then look at that of going, are we able to play that brand of rugby in parts versus if we just look at the scores, which probably outsiders will, but for us we have to look at so much more and actually understand what that actually means and how we continue to look for those continuous improvements. And
before I forget, 2 female captains, one on each side today as well.
Yeah, so our club captain Connor Blackmore, his fiance had a baby son this morning at 3:30. So obviously he's missed round 1. We'll have a chat around planning in terms of what that means. I mean, you can't get any closer to the bone of having the actual child on the day of round 1. So, listen, Olivia's our vice captain. Very much what I look for in not just in a leader but in a person. She's very focused, very committed. Spends a lot of time outside of the game, making sure she's developed herself as a leader, both physically and mentally. And I think she stepped up and led the team.
Really good. Like, we're coming up against a new team, so we knew it might run away with it a little bit and we might score a few points. But I was really happy with our execution, the things we really wanted to do. We never strayed into silly. We did some really great things, great execution, tried some stuff out, but we never let us get carried away with it and kind of do stupid stuff and end up just looking like error-ridden and everything. So yeah, really happy with it, mate. You can only play who's in front of you. Edinburgh kind of gave it everything. We've been there ourselves for like 2 or 3 years. We were where they were, and before we became the team we are. So, mate, I'm really happy with it, and the players are buzzing. And it's a nice trip up to Edinburgh, isn't it?
Well, you conceded a try, so you're not happy about that, sure?
Well, no, I'm not, to be honest. Yeah, and I kind of came into this thinking, if you score, fine, whatever. But once the scoreline started going the way it was, and we were keeping them out, I kind of set that challenge then to be like, right, don't let them score now. You've kept them out for so long. Let's keep them at nil. And I'm really chuffed everyone got on. Cam got 40 minutes, Becky got 40 minutes, Vez got about 15 minutes but played most of the reserve game beforehand. So I'm really chuffed. All the players had really big impacts, and everyone managed to just get their hands on the ball and do something with it.
Good start to the season, and the trip up to Edinburgh as well. How important is that, obviously with your Scotland hat on as well, for the sport to be putting down roots here?
Yeah, what Martin's done up here, you've got to give him massive credit. What he's done is start a club from scratch. Make them competitive, get them to buy into what he wants to do, and it's a blueprint for how things should be done. And there's even clubs in the Super League who aren't achieving what Martin's achieving with the sponsorship, with the charity status, with the eyes on you getting from this city. You just have to look at the walls, and there's wheelchair rugby league pictures on the walls here. So yeah, it's been ace, and I feel like you've got to give massive credit to Martin. And having rugby league in Edinburgh and it being wheelchair rugby league is a huge kind of step for the game, really, isn't it?
The word professional is probably wrong one to use because you're not paid, but the team remained professional, and Edinburgh as well didn't give up throughout that game.
No, I thought it was really good to see, and you can see Martin spent 3 years at Leeds, and he was the kind of start of what we are now. The foundations that he laid, and you can kind of see that in them. They're not turning on each other, they're not shouting at each other, they're not blaming anyone. They're connected and they're united all the way through it. And you can see at the end there, they were still fighting, but it's hard playing 80 minutes of Super League, and they're not ready for that yet. Well, they are. Well, they're going to be ready for it pretty soon, but yeah, you've got to go through that journey before you can come out the other side.
2 female captains as well this afternoon.
Yeah, there was. Olivia stepped up, she vice captain stepped up for the day, and that's the first time in history probably, especially in wheelchair rugby league, we've got 2 female captains on Super League teams of non-female teams. So yeah, I think that's a massive achievement, and I didn't even spot that until yesterday. Someone mentioned it to me and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like that drum needs to be banged a little bit more.
They gave out chocolate bars afterwards, Thomas Cameron wafers.
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce that into Leeds? Does someone from Leeds need to bring in some sponsors?
What's the Leeds chocolate?
I don't know actually, that's a good question.
Like Batley, you've got Foxes, haven't you? But Batley's not Leeds, is it?
No.
Yeah, but you're going from that there, the whole occasion. There was a bagpipe when we turned up. Yeah. They've got the raffle on, they've got signed stuff, they've got things done here, it's the gifts, they have sponsors here. The whole event's just been great, and that's what we need to be doing. Let's make it a spectacle, especially when you come up here, you come all the way to Edinburgh. Let's enjoy it.
back the Leeds Rhinos Academy. It's the end of the day. They won 114-6. We already know that because you've already seen the bit. I'm off to bed. Ta-ra.